Writing a speech with purpose. In level 1, we have completed mastering fundamentals. We have completed our icebreaker. And now we want to get into writing a speech with purpose. In this section, we're going to be talking about how to write an engaging speech. So you're going to find information about organizing and writing your speech. Going to talk about the organizational structures, planning your presentation, and from topic to well-organized speech. This is going to provide you additional information on how to organize your speech and the different ways that you can do that. So please take the time to read through each one of these. And then it's going to give you a summary of your speech organizational structure. And then it's going to ask you to answer the following questions to reinforce what you have learned so far. And once you answer each of these questions, you will just hit submit. And then once you complete those questions, it's going to ask you to select your topic. So, what is a meaningful topic that you want to do in writing your engaging speech? And then it's going to talk you through writing your speech, clearly defining your topic, and making sure that you write it down. And in your speech, you want to tell a compelling story. So you learned in your icebreaker project that a good speech is like a story. So you have your topic, you're going to give your introduction, and then you're going to do your body and transitions, and it's giving you information on how to do that, and then how to wrap it all up in your conclusion. And again, as you notice, and when we were doing Mastering Fundamentals, you have your cards here that if you flip it over, it gives you tips on what you need to do. And remember for your timing, the icebreaker speech was 4 to 6 minutes. And then most of your speeches throughout Toastmasters will be 5 to 7 minutes in length. But sometimes speakers may have longer speeches that they need to give. So if you do, you're able to communicate that to your evaluator so they know the length that you're going to be doing for your speech. And then it just gives you some more tips about making choices, past experiences, strong content, and finding balance. And again, with your resources, you're going to have your speech outline worksheet that will help you break down each part of your speech. So it'll give you your greeting and then how to capture and engage your audience. And then you're introducing your topic. It walks you through transitioning and in the body and the conclusion. It gives you an example of how your speech can be designed around 3 questions. And then it's going to give you an opportunity to take some time to consider the questions and answer them for your upcoming speech. And remember to hit save after filling out each one. And then we have some following um, information here. Once you click the buttons, it'll give you a little bit more information. And again, make sure you're reading through all of this because it is some great tips in here. We don't have time to go through each one and for me to read it out to you, but please, please make sure that you are reading each one of these. And as we continue through, we're going to get back to know your purpose. So it's going to give you the introduction to your speech purpose, the general purpose and specific purpose, and then how to define your purpose as we go throughout. And again, it's just giving you some other information about the intent of your speech, if it's to inform, to persuade, to entertain, or to inspire. We're going to go through our specific purpose. Again, a lot of information to help you write out and organize your speech. And then part 4 of your presentation is applying what you've learned, making sure that you checked out your resources, and then preparing for your evaluation. And then again, we get to the review and apply section. And this is again where you'll answer a couple of questions, save each of those, and continue through. Then we're ready to complete our assignment for writing a speech with a purpose. And again, it's telling you about what the project includes, it's giving you your checklist to make sure that you've completed everything that you needed to do, and then your evaluation resources. Okay. Then on part 5 of writing a speech with a purpose is reflecting on what you learned. Again, we're talking about the focus on your content, completing the learned section of No Wonder Learned, and then we're going to complete your project. And as you go throughout each of the levels and through each of the assignments in each level, you're going to start seeing a similar format. The information changes, but the format pretty much stays the same until you get on up into the higher levels. And again, we have our know, wonder, and learned. What did you learn about this project? And then once you do that, you're able to enter in your speech title, your date, your club, your evaluator, and your evaluation form, send any requests to your evaluator. You're going to save it and email it. And before you move on, we want to just come back to this section. And then it's just basically, it's going to give you some things about reviewing what you learned. Did you deliver your speech? You received your evaluation, and then congratulations! You have completed writing a speech with purpose, and now you're ready to move on to your next project.